Hello, this is going to be a video that's going over the first page front and back from your study guide. So for the first problem here, it's going to be, we're looking for this missing value here, the x value. So we're going to first plug in the 1/2, which is our slope, into y equals 1/2, or negative 1/2 x plus b. And then after I do that, I'm just going to look at that really quick. You can go ahead and substitute in the ordered pair. So this goes in for x. This going on for y, and then we get 4 equals negative 1/2 times 2 plus b, or 4 equals negative 1 plus b. We add 1 to both sides, you get 5 equals b. So your whole equation will be y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. Then we're going to go ahead and plug in the y for x. And we're going to find out, well, what would x be? So if I substitute the y in, so I get 8 equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. I subtract 5 on both sides. I get negative 1/2 x equals 3. And then from here, you multiply by the reciprocal. And you get negative 3 equals, or negative 6 equals x for that one. All right, so the next problem, I'm just going to switch colors so you can see it. We're looking for a slope of the pair that makes 0. So 0 means that the y's are the same because it's going to make that nice horizontal line. So we're looking for where the y's would be the same, because if you think about it, even when you look at the slope, it's going to be 0 over some number. That's the slope we're looking for. So that means when I do change of y, the change of y has to be equal to 0. So if I look at the order pair they gave me, it's 5, 4. I'm going to basically select this one because it's, if I did that, that's going to be 0 over negative 4, which is 0. And then if I pick this one, that's going to be 0 over negative 7, which is still 0. So either way, I think I just misspoke a minute ago, but essentially either way, if you find the slope between those two, it's going to be 0. All right, find the x and y intercept. Remember, the x-intercept, you make y 0. So you can just take out the y, and you get negative 9. It says write your answer as an ordered pair, so that would be negative 9, 0. For your y-intercept, you make x 0. So if I take out the x, I'm left with negative 6y equals negative 18, so y is equal to 3, and that would be 0, 3. All right, graph the following by plotting the intercepts. Let me change back over to blue. So if you have your x-intercept, again, we're going to make y 0, so we get negative 4x equals 12, or x is negative 3. So it's going to be right here. And then we're going to do our y-intercept. So we'll take out the x, so we're left with 6y equals 12, or y equals 2. And then we can go ahead and connect those there. Okay, for the next part, it says write an equation of the line. That's a transformation. You shift up 5, so now it's going to be a plus 5. And 3 times less steep, remember that doesn't mean to make it negative. Less steep means divide, so we're looking for a fraction. So if it's 3 times steeper, it'd be 3x. But since it's less steep, it's 1/3. A line that's reflected, so now my slope is negative, and shifted down 4 units. So that one looks like that. Okay, find the slope of a line. Remember, slope's just change of y over change of x. So change of y, it's down 2. Change of x, up 4. But you want to make sure you simplify it. So it should be 1/2. Right, now I know these ones are a little bit hard to read on your own paper. They look pretty good on here, but we're just identifying the slopes. This is a positive, the first one. So we're going to pick 2 points. We'll pick here and here. And we're going to go, it looks like we're going up 4, and then also to the right 5. For this one, when I have to pick 2 points, I pick this one and this one. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. So it's going to be negative 3 over 1, or just negative 3. this is a flat line. You could go up 0 over 10 or whatever, those 2 points that are on there, but you know it's going to be 0, and the other one's going to be, it looks like it's going to be 5 over 0, which is just 0. I'm sorry, which is just undefined. Remember, it's okay if it's at the top. It's a no. You can't divide by 0. All right, for number 8, this one, they're asking you for the slope and the y-intercept. So in order to get it, you have to put it in y equals mx plus b. And then once it's in that form, the slope is whatever's connected to the x, and the y-intercept is the other number. So you have to solve for y. So for this one, in order to get y by itself, I'm not making anything 0 here, I'm just going to divide. And so then I get 2x minus 5. And your y-intercept is there, the negative 5, and your slope is just a 2. So that's your m, and that's your b. For the second one, you want to distribute first. And that's going to be plus negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then you add 5 to both sides. So then your slope would be negative 3/4, and your y-intercept is 8. So I should label underneath. Or positive 8. All right, which one of these graphs is this one? You could solve for y here, but whenever it's in standard form, I just always look at the intercepts. So your x-intercept would be 6x equals 24, so the x is 6. That looks like it's going to be a, but we'll just check the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, no, because that's not dividing. The x-intercept is not 6, it's 4, because 24 divided by 6 is 4. The y-intercept is 6. So we're looking for a y-intercept of 6. That looks like here, and the x-intercept of 4, which is D. All right, which one of these linear equations has these intercepts? You could just plug them in and check them. I know the first one's out because this is x-intercept and y, and the y-intercept in this case is negative 3, so that's out. So now we just have these two left, or these 3, I should say. So we already know that B has a y-intercept of negative 9, but we can go ahead and find the x-intercept by making y 0. You could also plug it in, just check, but that's going to be add 9 to both sides, so it's 9 equals. So the x is actually negative 27, so that one's also out. And then for this one, our x-intercept, it looks like it would be negative 3, which it is there. And then the y-intercept, it's looking like it's going to be negative 9, which is there. So that's good for that one. Okay, which of the following has, I'm just like verifying that I'm at the bottom of the second page. Yep. So which of the following has a slope of negative 1/4? This one is out. That has a slope of 0. So that one's gone. This one's also gone because that's a positive slope. For this one, you have to subtract x and then divide by negative 4. And that would be just a positive 1/4 x plus 6. So that one's gone. This one, you would add 4x to both sides. That's a 4x. That one's gone. It's got to be D. And if you remember from when we did point slope, this is actually the slope here, but you can distribute. You know it's going to be the number with the x right in front. And then that would be minus 1/2. So when I add 6 to both sides, I get negative 1/4 x plus 5.5 or 5.5. But you don't really even need to do that because as soon as you see that the slope is negative 1/4, that's it for that one. Okay, so that's the end of this video, and then I'll do another one for this.